What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of We Are One, You Are Two, a video game and PlayStation podcast. This is, I'm pretty sure, episode 42. I am your host, Rob Fanzo, as always, joined again by Matt Rhodes.
Hello.
Now, Matt, I just want to mention to everyone that if you like what you hear, you can go rate us first and foremost on iTunes, go listen to us on Google Play, Stitcher, where most of you listen to us, Patreon, I try to update when I can, Podbean, YouTube, every weekday, or even every week, we release a new one, usually by Sunday night, but it's been Monday before noon typically lately. So look for this, Monday before noon every week. I will start updating the Patreon more. I've been slacking in that lately, but that's because I have no patrons. And so if you join that, you get cool perks like voting on topics that we talk about, suggestions, everything like that as well. If you also like what you hear, you can write into us and contact us at weare1ur2@gmail.com or on my Twitter as well, weare1ur2. And in fact, Matt, several people did that this week, so we have some reader mail we're going to get to in a little bit.
I will correct you on one thing. I believe it's, and Dave's going to hate me, I believe it's episode 43.
I think you are probably right.
Because we had Chase.
Yes, we did have Chase last week. If you didn't listen to that one, go listen to it. Awesome sound designer and composer out in California. Who actually has orchestral piece he wrote that's being performed in December. So go listen to that interview. Great guy. Listens to us every week. We appreciate that. So greetings to him as well. And certainly all the other people who listen to us. Matt, we've got a great show lined up for people this week. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. But good Lord, was there a lot of news this week? And so I'm going to try and trim it down. We haven't been on because of the holiday. But we're going to record a couple of them this week, including we've got a developer whose game comes out on the PlayStation Network December 11th. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to speak to him this week and put that out for you guys right as the game comes out so you can kind of hear his thought process behind the game and why you should pick it up. So look for that as well. We're going to record that this weekend and get that out to you guys as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and talk about what we always love to talk about.
Ourselves.
But first, Matt, I know you're a little sick, or getting sick, so we're going to try and keep it brief for everyone today. We usually like to go as long as we can and entertain you. But Matt's feeling a little under the weather, and I pulled a muscle at CrossFit yesterday. A weird muscle, though. It's a neck muscle, and it actually makes my tooth hurt.
Ooh,
and
fun.
my all down the side of my neck. I know. I was cleaning like a sandbag, right? It's like they put the sandbag inside like an army bag thing that you clean up. It's supposed to be like something you can do anywhere. Mm-hmm. And it has handles on it. And wow, it was 95 pounds. And 95 pounds on a bar is nothing. I can clean that no problem all day. But the sand kind of slides around in the bag. And so it was real awkward. And so I tilted to the left and forward and I strained a muscle in my neck somehow.
Oof.
So yeah.
Gross.
It feels real good. But we're not, that's not going to stop us from recording. So
that's correct.
Anyway, yeah, we don't mess around here.
We're going to power through. For you guys. For you guys. power through our weak physical states. So Matt, what have you been playing? Because I've been playing a lot, so I'll let you go first. Oh, good Lord. Same crap, different day. Rocket League, Fortnite. It's already week 10. It's about to be season 7 for Fortnite, Robert. It's going so quickly. Yeah. It's nuts. And then I've been playing some Assassin's Creed, actually. I've been enjoying the fact that it's not as slow as Red Dead Redemption, so I decided to play that. I would play Fallout 76, but I've been kind of waiting on you to do that. / there's 100 gigs worth of updates that I need to download, so not too excited about having to wait for that and do that. Yeah, that's all I've been playing. Oh, I'm excited for, and I'm sure this will be out by the time we get this aired, but I'm excited for Just Cause 4. I think I'm going to buy it today. I don't know. I love how they push the boundaries with things, and I feel like their weather system is going to be insane. I mean, there's a tornado on the front cover.
Yeah, I get excited for Just Cause. Every time one comes out, I buy it, I play it for 2 hours, and then I never touch it again. So I'm going to wait this time.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that completely. There are massive games where you do the same exact thing for 200 hours, but...
They also come at the curtail because they love that December release.
They do love the December
And
release.
I don't know why, because I've got all the games I need from the past 2 months that I have a backlog, and you're going to put that out. I'm not done with Red Dead. I'm not even touched, like you said, Fallout 76, I purposely haven't been updating it because I don't have enough room on my hard drive.
I knew it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so you're going to get that?
Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. If anything else, I just want to see like what kind of like cool weather effects they got going on.
Okay, cool. Is that all you've been playing then?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit because in the news as well, but I have been playing a poop ton. That's one word. Poop ton.
Poop ton, yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing a ton of Beat Saber on PSVR.
Yes.
It has I have dusted off my PSVR that just sits there, and I am thoroughly addicted. It is. Let me tell you something. If you have a PSVR and
for old people,
it is. But if you don't pick this game up and you have a PSVR, you're foolish, right? And the other half of that I'll say is that if you don't own a PSVR, and they have had some good bundles on Black Friday, which, by the time we're recording this is over anyway, but they have another bundle coming out we'll talk about in the news. You need to get PSVR just for that. I kid you not. It is, I know you diminish it as Fruit Ninja, but it's actually more like a Star Wars fantasy, right? Because you have lightsabers, and every time you strike one of those blocks, it vibrates. If you put the the little sabers together, they vibrate like they're fighting, There's feedback in the move controllers, and it just... I don't know how to explain it. Watching videos of it doesn't do it justice. Because if you watch videos of it, you're like, great, another rhythm game, I get it. But there's something different about it, because I don't like rhythm games. Like, I never got into the DDR. I never got into that stuff.
Is it set to music? Is that where the beat comes in?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's a rhythm game, because you're slashing, but there's just something so satisfying about slashing through those blocks, as if you're like a Jedi that wants to go to a dance club. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so good.
Club Tatooine.
Yeah, Club Tatooine. We'll trademark that. Disney can use it later, in their theme parks. But it is really, I watch videos of it and it looks cool, but it's another level when you're playing it. And so there's all kinds of modes. Sometimes the arrows disappear that tell you which way you're supposed to cut. There's other stuff like move your arms only so much during a thing. And so there's all kinds of challenges in the campaign mode that just make it a blast. So I would highly recommend that. I've been playing Guacamelee 2 a lot. I've been playing Enter the Gungeon quite a bit. I've played a lot of Red Dead. I've played some Assassin's Creed Odyssey this week. I'm pretty much jumping around between 10 different games. And I've got a little game on my Vita I've been playing the crap out of too that is made by Cat Cow Games. I'm reported over by Cat Cow Games. And I just completely blanked on the name of it, so I apologize. But it's a little twin stick shooter. Oh,
I know you love your twin stick shooters.
Yeah, I love that you can't say it either.
I know, right?
But yeah, I love it. It's the same guy ported it over to Vita, the Xena Valkyrie Plus edition on Vita. That's like a little roguelike game. Oh, Riddle Corpses EX. That's what it's called. Riddle Corpses EX. And so shout out to Fabrice Benton for porting that over and helping develop that. I just love it. Diabolical Mind's the developer, I believe, or the publisher for that as well. So basically, in other words, I've been playing everything. Mostly Beat Saber.
Sounds like a lot.
It is. And Beat Saber makes me so sweaty, I have to wipe off my VR unit. I get so into it. I'm like, I like need a shower. It's like doing CrossFit.
Well, it's good that it's a workout.
It is. It really is. It's like a fun one too. Suddenly the song ends and I'm like, what? Why is there water on me? Oh, that's my sweat.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the news. Some of this is older, some of it's newer, but I thought we would highlight some of the key stuff. And so there's a lot of items. I don't even know how many we have. We're just going to run through the PS-news. So, first and foremost, I thought since this will be coming out right around the Game Awards show, Jeff Keighley, I don't know if you saw, he mentioned he's building up the hype train here. He mentioned that not only are there going to be, games and studios there, but apparently they're going to have double digits in regards to record number of announcements. And so he said they'll have easily over 10 new game announcements at the awards show.
Wow.
I'm banking on, since PlayStation, which it also came out since we were on break, PlayStation's not going to E3 anymore. I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't blame them for that, and we can talk about that. I wouldn't be surprised if this is where they announce a release date for either Death Stranding or, Ghost of Tsushima, or one of the games that we've seen multiple times over the past year. So we'll see. But also new games, I'd be very curious. There was a rumor going around earlier in the week that we can talk about too, about what might be announced there. I wouldn't be surprised. I would love if they announced Bloodborne too, but we'll see. I doubt they will because they got that Sekiro Shadows Die Twice coming out. Yeah. And that's not like From Software. So I just wanted to mention that more than 10 new games. Some actually think that the new title from Rocksteady is going to be announced there.
That would be exciting.
It would be. There's apparently a rumor going around that there's a trademark for a game called Superman World's Finest. And we can't tell if it's legit or not, but it's been popping up in different places. Like a blurry screenshot of a game called Superman World's Finest. Now, it could have been photoshopped. I would hope they wouldn't do a Superman game as much as I'd love one from them. Because Superman's just so overpowered. How do you make that game challenging?
Yeah, it's true.
Unless you just strap Krypton to him like a backpack and make him human. Lex Luthor's made him wear a backpack and it's your job to remove it. So I don't know. But we'll see. The other thing, the second piece of news we'll jump to here that I'm excited about, your PlayStation Plus games for December have been revealed and should be ready to download by the time you're listening to this. On PlayStation 4, subscribers are getting Soma, which I have and started playing but never finished, and Onrush, which, does that one sound familiar to you?
A little bit.
It was like a car racing game, like the one where the cars can be flipped either way, and it had some car combat. It's supposed to be like an online multiplayer game. It looked really cool. I didn't want to spend $60 for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited that's coming. And then joining that is Iconoclast, which I have on my Vita, and it's fantastic. And then Papers, Please, which I'm super excited for, is also on Vita and PS3. And then PS3 usually gets Steriden and Steins Gate. And Steins Gate's really cool. It's a visual novel that I'm about halfway through and I haven't finished yet.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's the two biggest pieces that I thought, other than Sony, obviously, ditching E3. Also, speaking of E3, I know we've mentioned this before, but Kind of Funny's Greg Miller has that Kind of Funny game showcase going on.
Yeah.
He tweeted at Sega and said, "Would you like to announce anything regarding a new Yakuza game or Yakuza or anything like that at our showcase?" And they said, "Well, since you've invited us, sure, why not?" They're going to announce something at the Kind of Funny Games showcase. Apparently, it's going to be 50 different titles being shown off. And he invited Sega, and Sega said yes. So maybe we'll get some new Yakuza news, which you Yakuza fans out there, I know it's been a big year with the remasters and things like that as well coming out. The other thing I think is interesting is I just saw on Twitter today that Josh from Limited Run Games, which makes takes digital-only PS4 and Vita games and Switch games and puts them into physical limited editions, tweeted at Greg Miller and said, "Hey, we've got some announcements. Can we join you?" And I just saw before we got live today that he tweeted back and said, absolutely. So watch for Limited Run Games to have something too. It's turned into basically PSX Plus.
Yeah, good for Greg, man. That's awesome.
I know. I'm super excited about that. That's kind of cool how they're doing that. So, good for them. Moving on to the next item. I had to put this in here. I know many people may not care, but Nier Automata, my favorite game of all time, or at least in my top 3, I know, is getting a Game of the Year edition. Now, Gamatsu, the website, spotted an ESRB for a Game of the Yorha edition, which I don't know if that title is actually real or not, but I hope they call it that, Game of Yorha edition, which probably will include the action titles DLC on disc, and that would be super exciting because it's extremely rare for ESRB rating to pop up for a product that doesn't actually exist. And so I cannot wait to become as gods again.
Yeah, because they have to pay for that, I believe, don't they?
They do, yeah. They pay a pretty penny for that, too. They pay I think I read somewhere one time between $5 and $10,000 for that.
Yeah, so, who's going to spend that money on a game that's not coming out?
Yeah, exactly. So look for that pretty soon. I'm going to bet early next year, like February, for Valentine's Day, right? The Yorha edition, and 2B can be your Valentine. I'm calling it here first. If they want, I'll work in their marketing department. My other piece of news that I'm selfish about that I'm super excited about, good old CD Projekt Red announced that, or I should say responded to things about Red Dead Redemption 2. And they said that with Cyberpunk 2077, that, quote, without a doubt, quality is of paramount importance. We strive to publish games that are as refined as Red Dead Redemption 2 and recent Rockstar's releases in general. That game is excellent, by the way. We are rooting for it. Rave reviews, excellent sales. And so what people took out of that, too, and what was kind of said off the record, I guess, was that they are basically shooting for the quality of Red Dead 2, if not higher, with Cyberpunk 2077. He said, quote, once the game is complete, we can begin to patch various bugs, both major and minor, and we're setting aside time to complete this process. End quote. I'm super excited about that.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The hidden meaning behind that though is
what?
Don't expect a release date anytime soon.
You know what else that means? Don't expect it on PS4. Right? Because if you watch that 45-minute demo, that's probably a PS5 game. And PS5 is probably coming 2020. And I watch if they don't launch it probably within the release window of actually, 2020 would be the perfect year to launch the PS5 and Cyberpunk 2077 because it just sounds so sci-fi and so futuristic. 2020.
Yeah.
So why not release both of those? Maybe that's a launch title as a bundle, and then have VR support for it.
Well, the one thing my complaint about that would be, I feel like sometimes it takes developers a long time to work the operating system properly for new systems, or tweak it enough to make the games that much better.
To push the hardware?
Yeah, to push the hardware. So that's my only fear if it goes to PlayStation 5.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's like an early title.
Right.
Yeah, if you look at the end of a generation's life cycle, like you look at the end of last generation, The Last of Us basically pushed PS3 to its limit.
Exactly.
And look how fantastic it was. Now, if you think about the games we're getting now with Red Dead 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey and some of the other games like Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding, if they're going to be PS4 titles, right, and Days Gone, I'd say it's fair. I think it's fair to say they're pushing PS4's hardware probably to its limit at this point, which is why, I would agree with you. Cyberpunk, if it's not a PS4 title, it's okay for them to wait a little bit on PS5 because from what I've heard of rumors, that thing's going to be a beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, but not last at all by any means, many assumed that Sony's new censorship policy would only target smaller developers as a way of push Square and a couple other websites. But Koei Tecmo is the latest publisher to fall foul to the Japanese giant's buttoned-up approach. Apparently, Dead or Alive 3 Extreme 3, Dead or Alive Extreme 3, goodness, I couldn't read that. Scarlet reveals that 2 questionable items will be removed from the PlayStation 4 version of the game, despite them being present in Nintendo Switch edition, which is the gold fan and softening gel, have been taken out of the PS4 release. Right? For you, those of you who don't know what that is, the fan effectively allows you to blow the skirts of the characters, allowing you to turn them inside out so you can glance their underwear. The gel softens their boobs, making them more springy, apparently. And so, now, here's an interesting thing that I kind of saw as a side and I didn't get to corroborate it. PS4 apparently, and PlayStation wants to get, I should say PlayStation as a whole, wants to get more into the Chinese market in China. China is very strict about... That
is where the Chinese market is.
Yes, that is true. Thank you. I know I'm Captain Obvious tonight. But apparently, they want to get into the Chinese market, and China's very heavy on censorship with a lot of stuff.
Right.
And so I think, and I read some on Twitter and saw some reports and some articles, and I didn't get to corroborate them all. But I think if that's true, that they're moving into the Chinese market, the censorship might be coming out of, it's coming out of the Western side, not the Japanese side, because Japanese have no problem with nudity and stuff, weird stuff like that. If you've ever seen some of the films, I think it's coming from the West because they know that that's a huge market and China probably won't let them into that market without showing that they're willing to censor things. And so just a thought, if you're upset about that, it's probably the capitalist side of Sony speaking, but I can't blame them for wanting to hit that market because that's a huge population of gamers. we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to point that out. That's something I don't have in the news, but something I've read. So what I'm concerned about is Catherine Full Body being affected. And that leads me into another story. Catherine Full Body Edition, Atlas was asked about that, and they simply said that, and I'm paraphrasing here, that they did not have to edit anything yet, which tells me that they've probably already edited stuff, and Sony just hasn't come in after them because they've done enough to edit it. And so I guarantee Catherine, which is a Full Body Edition, is a re-release of Catherine. Did you ever play that one?
I did not, but I heard about it. We talked about it, you and I, because I know that you played it, right?
I played like a half hour, and it's a really cool puzzler. I wanted to get back to it, and just too much other stuff came out. And so I was hoping to pick up the Full Body Edition. If it's edited the way I think it is, I don't know how much that'll affect the game itself. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So by the time we're reading about this, I'm skipping... Kingdom, by the way, for anybody that actually cares, Kingdom Hearts 3 has gone gold. I'm going to skip over that because, yay, no kidding, took forever. That game was announced like 12 years ago, so congratulations, it's finally coming out on January 29th. Anyway, I want to jump into the next story because, and I'm not diminishing it, it's just, let's be honest, we've heard about Kingdom Hearts every week for like the past 7 years, and so, especially the past 6 months, so it's finally coming out. We can finally stop talking about it. I get it. Rockstar actually shocked me because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. They dropped Red Dead Redemption 2's online multiplayer. It is out. It started, today's the 29th that we're recording. It started on the 27th. On the 28th, it opened to anyone who played the game at launch. Today, it opened up to anyone who played it between the 26th and the 29th. And tomorrow, the 30th, it's open to everybody. So by the time you're listening to this, you should be able to access Red Dead online. And I'm super excited to try it out. I realized I probably didn't fit into that first window because I didn't buy the Ultimate Edition on the 27th. And on the 28th, I'm pretty sure I didn't fire it up on the 26th of October. And so I'm probably have access to it today because I did play between the 26th and the 29th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got it, but I didn't play it right away. So I don't even think I fall into the 26th to 29th window, to be honest.
Yeah, so you might have to wait till tomorrow at least. But by the time you do this, it'll be up for everybody. They also did say in another story that they are hoping your progress from the beta will carry over, but they're not guaranteeing it. And so, in other words, don't get too attached to your characters. We'll find out if that changes all between now and our next recording. Here's another shocker. To be honest, this shocked me very much. In the next news item on the list, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 beat or topped the October NPD sales results, beating Red Dead 2. I don't understand that. It just shows how out of touch I am with the mainstream gaming culture. It has no campaign. It's battle royale only, pretty much. And it's still outsold Red Dead 2.
Yep.
In fact, it is the top-selling 2018 game.
Not surprised.
That is insane. I am shocked, to be honest. I thought for sure, and this is again how much of a bubble I live in my echo chamber, I thought for sure the way everybody was complaining online about the lack of single player, that it would be lower sales than normal. And I thought it was going to stumble. And nope, it did not.
Stupid blops.
Seriously, people think it's the best battle royale currently available. And so I was wrong.
I have been hearing that.
Yeah. You're going to have to ditch Fortnite now.
They've done things, probably not. But I have heard that they've took a serious look at Fortnite and thought, what can we do better? How can we change this or that? And the things that they did, people are really enjoying.
Well, if you can't ditch Fortnite, and I don't have this news story on the dock for us, but I did see it today, I'll just send you to Fortnite rehab because apparently that's the thing.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Many children are failing their tests and grades, and instead of parents being parents, they blame it on Fortnite and they tell them that they need to go to video game rehab because the game is quote unquote like heroin, one of the articles read.
Well, that's fine and dandy, but it's your job as a parent not to get your kid addicted to heroin.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, take the drugs away from your kids or don't let them do them in the first place.
Yeah.
And you won't have a problem. And so, if your kid loves Fortnite, limit it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
We live in a culture of lack of self-control.
The way my parents kept me off of drugs by not letting me do them.
Yeah, exactly. The way mine did it is they said, if you want to do anything like that, you do it in front of us.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nope, not doing that.
Exactly. And then my friend Rob came along and he's like, hey, try this heroin. I was like, all right, fine. So I tried the heroin and I liked it. And now I can't get away from Fortnite. You pusher.
I did. That's because I don't have my parents anymore to say, try it in front of me.
Could you imagine playing Fortnite in front of your parents?
Yeah, I could. I
Just be
could.
like, hey, if you're going to do this, you're going to play it in front of us.
Yep. But it is funny because every time I read an article about where Fortnite gets blamed for something, it sounds like people don't know how to take responsibility for who they're controlling or who they're dealing with. So like the Vancouver Canucks or whatever had that article where, their players were banned from doing it on the road and because it was messing up the team practices and stuff.
Right.
Well, that's a terrible job by the coach. You're the coach. Tell the grown men to put the controller down, and get out on the ice. Yeah. I mean, grow up.
I will say, just related going back to the whole sales thing that we're talking about, Black Ops did have 2 extra weeks on Red Dead Redemption 2.
That is true. That is true, to be fair.
I mean, really, Red Dead only had 5 days in November, or October, rather, to... Now, obviously, they had a huge weekend, right?
Right.
However,
yeah,
Call of Duty had that much more time, and also is still a AAA title.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Either way, either way, I don't know if you saw this part. I have it in the doc here. October NPD was the highest of October of any PlayStation platform since the PS2 in 2002. And between Call of Duty and Red Dead 2, the industry surged 73% over last year, netting an eye-watering $1.5 billion in sales last month for video games.
That's absurd.
That is absurd. That is great, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, because consoles are dead.
Maybe I'm obviously an idiot, but what's NPD?
Oh, that is they keep track of sales. So they keep track of sales of
NPD is the group.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the group that keeps track of video game records, all kinds of sales. Now they didn't used to. They kind of became useless for a while because they didn't keep track of digital sales. A game might sell 100,000 copies, but then if it sold another 300,000 on digital, they didn't report that, and so the game looked like it was doing poorly. They've since incorporated that, and so now you have a much better idea between digital and physical how well a game is selling.
Yeah.
And so that $1.5 billion, that's also Soul Calibur 6, Spider-Man helping out, probably God of War still selling stuff, Black Friday bundles. I'm sure this month are going to push all of that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was looking at the best selling of 2018 so far, and Far Cry 5 is number 3, Spider-Man 4, NBA 2K 5, God of War 6, and those numbers I'm sure are still going to rise. Also, The other thing that's crazy to me is Grand Theft Auto still freaking on there. Like, what the hell? Rockstar has 2 titles on the best-selling games of 2018.
And you would think with Red Dead it would take a break, but it doesn't.
It does not.
It doesn't. This one also I thought I would enjoy, and so we're dwindling down here. I'm not going to cut through all of these other ones, but I did want to mention this one because I just think it's hilarious. THQ Nordic, which has come back, is purchasing more and more games. They purchased the developer of Wreckfest and Flat Out Games. They purchased the Goat Simulator Studio, Coffee Stain. They purchased, I kid you not, they have purchased over 55 IPs, and they said they've purchased over 55 IPs, and they have 55 games in development, and they said that only 20 of them have been announced. What studio do you know has 55 games in development at once? None. That is absurd.
Yeah.
That is absurd. That can't be real. Like, what are they doing? Are they counting like remasters as being in development? Are they going to make 55 games and then never release them and go bankrupt again? Like, what are they doing?
Maybe they're making a lot of handheld games, or not handheld, good Lord, cell phone games.
Maybe. Well, no, but they're all legit studios for like consoles. That's the crazy part. I don't know what's going on. Who knows? I don't buy it.
But look at the whole Diablo fiasco.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. We're not going to. That's a hot mess.
Right? They're a legit studio with console games, and they're making it for a phone, right?
Yeah.
Don't you guys have phones?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to jump down a little bit. This one's an older piece of news. It's number 5 on the list when I was putting this together last week. I just wanted to point this out real quick. PlayStation 4 is 5 years old as of last week, and PlayStation Plus, they released the top selling or top downloaded games, downloaded freebies. And what I think is crazy about the 5 most downloaded freebies is out of the top 5 of all time since 2013 for PlayStation 4, Just Cause 3 is the only one that's not from 2018. The other top downloaded games, free games, were Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Destiny 2, Dead by Daylight, and Mafia 3. Rocket League and Resogun weren't even on that list. Although, Rocket League surprises me more than Resogun, because Resogun was, the very beginning of the life cycle?
Yeah, it was the very first game.
And so that's kind of, I wouldn't expect a lot of people, you'd have to have if you think about the amount of consoles that are out there now versus then, but I'm still shocked that Rocket League isn't. Because Rocket League, I feel like everybody had when it came out for, on PS Plus. So, whatever. But, with the install base now, that makes sense, right? Black Ops 3, Destiny 2, Dead by Daylight, and Mafia 3 makes sense because the install base is the biggest it's ever been.
But I will say also, I feel like they're also getting better games that people actually want to download for the month.
Yeah, that's true too.
Just Cause 3 was huge when it first came out. Or, when it was listed as the free game. You know what I mean? Like, I remember seeing it, I was like, man, it's the first good game they've had in a while.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, I feel like it's also it's obviously the base, but it's also a testament to them bringing better AAA games to the table for the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and I think Onrush is a good example of December's, because that game just came out in June.
Yeah.
And so I was a little shocked already for them to put that. And although they did release people, I think, at that studio, because it didn't sell as well as they wanted it to. So I wonder if Sony was like, look, we know you're in kind of dire straits here. Let's populate your servers and get you back up and running, maybe.
Right.
I don't know how Plus works. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody talks about how Sony works out that deal with them. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, right.
All right, Matt, we're going to do something a little bit different today.
Ooh.
That's going to wrap up our news, because everything else is way too old for us to talk about since we've been gone. Plus, nothing real. We've covered the big things.
Oh, the one thing I will say, sorry,
yeah,
before we put away the news bag.
But yeah, the news bag, I like that.
Did you see that there's potential class action lawsuit against Bethesda for not fulfilling Fallout 76 refunds?
No, I didn't see that, but I'm not shocked at this point.
Me either. I guess it has to do with it says many Fallout 76 players demanding refunds for the game were denied as they downloaded, quote, digital content within the 30-day cancellation period. So they must, quote, must agree to waive your cancellation rights.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's interesting to see that what's going on. And then of course you sent me that video. Did you send me that video about the? Or no, I sent it to you about the guy that would tore up a GameStop because they wouldn't refund him his money.
Oh, you probably did send that to me, and I've probably been so busy this week I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I probably looked at it and was like, oh, I'll watch this in a little bit. Oh, yeah, you did send that to me today at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's crazy because, who in their right mind is going to get their money back for an open game?
Yeah.
That's not a thing that happens. How do you, what planet are you living on that you don't understand that if you buy a hard copy of a game and you open it up, it is no longer refundable for full price?
The same planet where you send your kids to video game rehab. That's the planet I live on. For not parenting.
Touche.
You let somebody else do the parenting.
All right.
That's why I need wine. All right.
We can move on now.
So we're done with the news. Thanks for stopping by. Put that back in the mailbag. I'm going to use that from now on. It only took us 43 episodes to come up with that idea.
News bag.
Boom. Closed. All right. Time, Matt, now for a little R&R. This is a new segment. Oh, yeah. Play that little, what's that, that sultry music? What song is that where he's like, oh, yeah.
Bow, bow. Oh, yeah. Bow, bow.
Yeah. So, a little R&R called Reader Response. And so you can always write into us. You can write into me at WeAre1UR2 on my Twitter account. You can write into me and at the website, our weare1ur2games.com. You can write into me via Gmail at weare1ur2@gmail.com as well. And our first thing comes of a contact via our website. I'm just going to read it. It says, "Hey guys, this is from RP Gamer. Love the podcast. You guys are really up my alley. I own a PS4. I'm an OG, old gamer, not original gamer. My first system was a Mattel Intellivision and still working on Atari 2600. That's still own a working Atari 2600. That's awesome because mine does not work very well. I have gamed off and on since then, but just got back into gaming recently and just started PC gaming. Hopefully he comes to console. No, I'm just kidding. He owns a PS4, so he's good. I really love the shows. Lay out the gaming news and review in the gaming description. It's guessing game. I really think you have something there. Thanks, dude. Refined and consistent, I agree. We'll work on that. Love the interviews, too. It's really cool to hear from the indie game developers. He's picking up Transmogrify, so Andrew, there you go. That's awesome. But he has a beef to grow, Matt.
Uh-oh.
He went to our website and into the host tab, and besides not knowing I was on the host page, no info. So guess what we've got to do? Update it.
What?
Yeah, here I am trying to be a super fan and follow you guys everywhere in these social media streets with a Z. I got nothing. I know you say it most times on the podcast, but I'm never in a place I can write it down. Plus, I'm getting old, and to multitask that quickly is not in my wheelhouse anymore. Amen to that. I realize you may not have the staff to ensure that everything gets done, but can you help a brother out? Thanks. P.S. This one's for you, Matt. What's up with no outro music from Matt on the last episode? LOL, game on.
Man.
I know. So I'll tell you what, RP Gamer 71, I will fix the host tab this weekend for you and put some nice info. I'll get some nice info for Matt to put up there and make us write a nice little biography, put up our social media stuff a little bit clearer up there too. Thanks for writing in, though. I appreciate that. And we'll fix Matt's no outro music this week too. We'll take care of all of that. So that was the first little piece of mail.
I will just say to RP Gamer that it was Rob's fault because I thought we were going to do an intro outro after we had done our interview, and he said, "Nah, we don't need to." So
I know
I should have just gone ahead and recorded the outro music like I was going to, but he's like, "Nah, we don't need to."
I'll take full blame for that one, but I appreciate him writing in, and so you can do that too at our website. There's a contact tab. Welcome to use it, and again, our Gmail. Which is just the weare1ur2
with a soon to be updated host tab.
Yes, and so I'll clean it up. I've been a little lacking on the website because it is just me doing it, and so this is a 3-man operation, and we all have full-time jobs, but we'll get it fixed. We appreciate you letting us know. I actually forgot about the contact part of the website, so it's good somebody called me out on it. You can always call me out too. I appreciate it. So the next two things, one was actually going to be our topic a little bit for today. The first thing I wanted to mention was Last Real Gamer wrote to me on Twitter, just like you can, and he asked for my most upcoming anticipated titles of 2019 for the Vita. Yeah, it stops production in March of next year, but we need to celebrate what will be coming out physical or digital anyway. And so that also reminds me, if you're a dev and you're listening, if your game is available on PS4, can you still cross-play with the Vita after that? Do you know what I mean, Matt? Like, if I publish a game on PS4, is there like a little box I can check that says, please make this cross-buy with the Vita or cross-play with the Vita?
That's a very good question, Rob.
So that I don't, because then I don't have to publish. I don't have to publish or develop the game for the Vita. I can just make it for the PS4 and put that little checkbox, and I can still download it on the Vita store. And so if you're a dev listening to this and know that answer, let me know. I would love to know. So Matt, I compiled a list, and in no particular order, but in a particular order, here are my top 2019 Vita games that I'm looking forward to. Number 10, Suki Shadowclaw, which looks like you're a cat killing mice. So like a platformer.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that. Monster Crown, because it looks like Reverie by Rainbite. The House of Fata Morgana. Pixel Noir. Seraphim, which I reached out to the developer and complimented on his art style one time. And so I would actually like to have him on if he hears this. Antipole DX. Shovel Knight King of Cards, which connects with the Shovel Knight game, which is fantastic. Persona Dancing. Number 2 would be Catherine Full Body. And I wrote, hopefully uncensored.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And number 1, and I might be a little biased, but it's from our dev we had on the show, Ben Widowson. a fellow Pittsburgh, or not Pittsburgh, but a fellow PA man, Project Sense. I cannot wait for that game to come out on Vita and PS4. I will get both. I cannot wait for that one. So that's my top 10 Last Real Gamer. Feel free if you have suggestions for Vita games that are coming out. I did a lot of digging. Those are the only ones I could really find that, I found about 20 titles, but those were the ones that really stuck out to me. If there's more that you want me to highlight, let me know. Write into me. Last but not least, Matt, I told you we had a lot of reader reflections today and reader responses. Mm-hmm. This one is actually our topic because I know you and I have differing opinions on this, so I thought maybe we could just touch on this for about 10 minutes or so. Next Gen Player, The Hunter, wrote into us, and on Twitter as well. We are one, you are two, just like you can. And he said, I want to know your thoughts as to whether you need PSVR to get the quote-unquote full PlayStation experience these days, or if you feel PSVR is still an optional peripheral core gaming fans can mostly ignore. And he brings this up because, yes, there are a lot of AA games, but most of the big AAA games are still just on PS4. But is the PSVR worth having now, or is it essential to not miss out on the PlayStation experience? And this ties into the piece of news that I didn't use there in the news, but I want to mention here. PSVR is getting a bundle this holiday for, I think it's for $349. You get the headset, the camera. I think you get Move controllers. Don't quote me on that. I have to double check on that part. And you get Beat Saber and Borderlands 2 VR. And so that is an old AAA game, but it is being ported over to PSVR. My opinion for you, or my question to you, Matt, is do you think you need PSVR to have the full PlayStation experience, or do you feel like it's still optional at this point?
I will say, at this point, optional. Okay. I don't think that they've... I feel like they're going to pump money into it. I feel like more and more things are coming out with VR, games, or VR modes, right? Skyrim and all those, huge AAA, like Borderlands 2, obviously. However, I think right now, I don't think it's that much of a necessity. Maybe this time next year, yeah. But I would say, personally, give it another year. Unless, that bundle did sound intriguing. So I'm trying to figure out where you saw that. Because I want to look at the details. Because that's an intriguing, bundle.
Yeah, that's a really nice sounding bundle right there. If I'm correct on everything that comes with it. The controller is the only thing I'm not sure with. And so don't quote me on that. I'll try and find that link for you as we're talking. I really think that's cool. And actually, there's a European PSVR Mega Pack bundle that offers Sony's top 5 games with it as well. If you're in Europe, it comes with, where is it here? Elder Scrolls VR. It comes with Astrobot Mission VR, Doom VR, Wipeout Omega Collection VR, and PlayStation VR Worlds. And so I'll send you that other one too. But I'm going to disagree with you, and let me tell you why. Beat Saber. No, I'm just kidding. It's not just Beat Saber. Sony has quietly had the best PSVR fall that they could have. Don't get me wrong, we've had Red Dead this fall. We've had Blops for the people who love it. We've had Odyssey. We have Just Cause 4 coming out. There's tons of great games coming out. But Sony has had this fall Tetris Effect for PSVR, which I hear is just a mind-blowing experience. Astrobot Rescue Mission, which is VR platforming with the little Astrobots, the little icon, symbol of PSVR, the little mascot. And from what I've read, it's it takes the idea of Mario in a new direction, like Mario type platforming. So that's 2 right there. You've now got Beat Saber, which I think is phenomenal. And unlike any other rhythm game, even if you hate rhythm games, you'll love it. You've got something like Borderlands 2 now, which Borderlands is awesome to begin with, but Borderlands in VR, I can imagine, will be just as much fun. You've got Moss, which came out earlier this year. Wipeout, actually, in VR is fantastic. I've played a lot of that, and I love that. I think that, and now some of those were earlier in the year, like Moss and Wipeout, but I think that, and I can't forget Firewall. Firewall is basically Rainbow Six Siege in VR. And so Rainbow Six, you and I talked about how that game keeps selling and people keep playing it. That would be even better in VR. And so I can't wait to get to that one. So I think Sony has quietly built up a library here that they're not giving enough attention to, or maybe it's not getting enough attention, that I think and I kind of want to agree with you. By this time next year, it will be a must-have. But I'd actually say that this holiday is the start of that must-have. Because if Sony keeps that momentum going into 2019 that they've started with this fall, it will easily be the need to have peripheral. And I think that's where I differ from you, is that because I have one and I've been able to experience this, I might be a little biased because I have one, but I think that I look at when I first bought it, and I told you it collected dust the past couple months. I cannot wait to jump into Beat Saber later tonight, maybe. I can't wait to jump into Astrobot and purchase that. I actually feel like for the first time, I want to set Red Dead and AC Odyssey and those other games aside, and I'd rather play my VR headset. And I can never say that the rest of this year.
Yeah.
And if Tetris Effect wasn't $40, because I think that's a ludicrous price for that, now wait for it to go on sale.
But it's not just VR, though, is it?
No, it's not just VR. It's remastered Tetris, but what I understand is it's almost like a religious experience. I hate to use that term, but it's almost like a religious experience in VR. Yeah. People said the same thing about Beat Saber. Like, you just can't describe how fantastic it is. And so if it's anything like Beat Saber, I think that Sony has undoubtedly 5 or 6 super strong games that have released in the past 5 months for VR that make it worth picking one up right now. And so if they keep that momentum into 2019, by this time next year, we'll be talking about how you'd be foolish not to have a VR. I already think you should have one. And so, and I think that's something that, again, Hunter, Next Gen Player, right, wrote into us. He is a tech and media editor at Walmart Canada. He wrote into us and asked about that. And I really do think that right now more than ever, it's worth having a PSVR.
Well, while you were fanboying over that.
Yes. I think it's a legit argument. I'll put it that way.
No, it's fine. I did do the research. And the new bundle, starting December 14th, comes with VR headset, PlayStation camera, PlayStation Move controllers, Beat Saber digital code, Borderlands 2 VR digital code, and Demo Disc 2.0 for the price of $350.
That is a sweet deal. Because Beat Saber's $30, Borderlands 2 VR is probably between $50 and $60. So that's, $70 to $80 there. The controllers bundled together are $90 now. So that's $170. The camera's another $50. So that's $220. And so you're talking about getting the VR headset for basically $130.
Yeah. There's a current bundle that includes the headset, controllers, camera, and then Creed and Super Hot.
And let me tell you something. Super Hot, I totally forgot about that. Fantastic.
That's the only reason I mentioned that bundle, because I know how much you loved Super Hot.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me for that, because that is another reason to own VR, I think, is Super Hot is ridiculously good. I cannot wait for people to experience that and play that haven't yet. It is just a blast. That's all I really wanted to say about that topic. I just, and I appreciate everyone that wrote in today so that we had some.
Are you sure that's all?
Yeah, I'm gonna bite my fanboy mouth and keep it shut for a little bit. But it's not even fanboying, honestly. I just really, really think that for the first time, I'm not ashamed to admit how much I love VR. And for the first time, I dusted it off.
Yeah.
And because I dusted it off for the first time, it's like, hello, why not?
How much was Beat Saber? Do you know?
$29.99.
Okay.
Which, and they're also releasing 3 DLC packs in the future, $10 a piece for 10 songs each. So you'll have 30 new songs on top of the 15 that are already in it.
Wow. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So again, I think it's worth it. So that'll wrap up our little R&R. Thanks for relaxing and thanks for the reader response. Remember, again, you can write into us and we'd love to hear from more of you. So I'm glad people are finally doing that because we love chatting with you guys.
We do.
I just added the link for the drop. So let's go ahead and move into See You Soon to wrap this up today.
See you soon.
And since we're running a little short on time here today, too, we're going to hold off on our Metacritic game. And so I know that he just mentioned to us, RP Gamer mentioned how he loves our game. But I promise that will be back. I'll pile up a nice chunk of Metacritic quips for Matt to take a shot.
I do apologize, but I am going to use the last bit of my voice doing the See You Soon.
Yes. Not only that, but we've got to record an outro. We can't totally let him down.
Exactly right.
All right, so this is the drop. These are games that came out this past week. Do you want to start or should I?
I want to start. I definitely want to start.
Okay, deal.
Achtung! Cthulhu Tactics, PS4 Digital. Explore the Lovecraft meets WW2, World War II for the layman, universe of Achtung! Cthulhu Tactics, a turn-based tactical strategy game set in the award-winning Achtung! Cthulhu universe.
I wasn't looking at the description. I was hoping you were going to say Lovecraft meets WWE universe. And I was like, goodness, squid wrestling with John Cena is the game I've always wanted.
You can't see me.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's Achtung or Achtung. It might be Achtung.
No, it's Achtung. It's do you not know the German word for attention?
No, I don't. But I know
It's
Cthulhu,
Achtung!
which is Lovecraft. All right. Battlefield 5 will be out by the time you get this, and we'll see how it does. Digital and retail, enter mankind's greatest
Already
conflict.
out.
Yeah, it is. With Battlefield 5, as the series goes back to its roots in a never-before-seen portrayal of World War II. Really? Take on all-out multiplayer across the world or witness human drama set against global combat in single-player war stories.
I'm not going to lie, I was very tempted to go buy it at Target today because Target had it until today for $30. Ooh. It just came out and it's already half off.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Yowza.
Tonight is the last night for it. Moving on. Beat Saber, PSVR Digital. Enjoy precisely handcrafted levels and exclusively created electronic dance music. All embedded in an appealing futuristic world. Swing your sabers, match the color and the right direction to slash the cubes, and keep up with the adrenaline-pumping music. This game is gonna make you dance.
You know, it's a shame. That description's not bad, but it doesn't do justice. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's
you
why I
read and you're
added the club music behind it, you know?
Yeah, it just doesn't. Now, this one I've been seeing action little toys everywhere, and I didn't know what it was, but apparently it's a PC port, so I might check it out. Bendy and the Ink Machine, PS4 Digital. Bendy and the Ink Machine is a first-person puzzle action horror game that begins in the far days past of animation and ends in a very dark future. With twists and turns around every corner, this game is sure to thrill you and decimate your childhood.
That actually looked, I like the cover art on that.
Yeah, it actually looks like a really good game. I watched a Let's Play by Oversoul Gaming, our buddy.
Yeah.
And so it looks kind of cool.
All right, Boxing Apocalypse, PS4 VR Digital. Boxing Apocalypse. Trapped in an alien prison, you must fight your way to freedom in this action combat game featuring a fully immersive, intuitive fight system.
Cool. Kind of reminds me of... That's cool, it's in VR.
It's a little redundant, though. Even the cover art, the guy has like a VR headset on.
They're trying to sell you on the VR. It actually almost looks like he's holding Move controllers, too.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Crow, the legend. Now, that sounds really dark, and I think of like The Crow, like the movie from the 90s. But if you look at the cover art, it's like this beautiful colored bird. In this animated movie, this is PS4 Digital, Crow is the most admired animal in the forest with his magnificent colors and beautiful voice. But when the very first winter arrives, can the crow make the personal sacrifices needed to save his friends? Wait, it's an animated movie, so do you even play?
Yeah, Rob. Gosh.
Yes. I can't believe they still make these games every year.
I'm excited. I know you're excited. Hence the yes. Farming Simulator 19. PS4 Digital and Retail. The ultimate farming simulation returns with a complete graphics overhaul and the most complete farming experience ever. Become a modern farmer and develop your farm. Filled with exciting new farming activities, crops, and animals. Yeah!
You know what I want? I mean this in the nicest way possible. If you play this game, please write into us. I want to know the appeal of it. I just want to understand it because it's one of those ones I don't want to pay for just to find out, what it's really like. But I want to know because I remember when it was like Farming Simulator, like 16, I think. I think this is like the 4th or 5th year running for this.
Yeah.
And so I would love to know on a honest level, like how long, or what makes the appeal to it and how is it like NHL every year where they just do tiny little tweaks? Flashback, PS4 Digital Retail. 2142. After fleeing from a spaceship but stripped of all memory, the eminent scientist Conrad B. Hart awakens on Titan. a colonized moon of the planet Saturn. He must find a way back to Earth, defending himself against the dangers he encounters and unraveling an insidious extraterrestrial plot that threatens the planet. Which planet? Titan or Earth? I'm assuming they mean Earth because Earth is part of the subject discussion of that sentence.
I mean, you're the English major and a teacher,
I know.
So you would know better than I would because Lord knows I don't think about those things anymore.
I know. I wrestle with it. Farming Simulator, by the way, has at least been around since 2015. I'm doing research as we read this. Sorry, continue. 14, I apologize. 14. 13. 13. All right, I'm done.
I'm going to put the wrong emphasis on the wrong
I can't wait for this game.
syllable.
I need to buy it.
Gundeniums?
No, Gundemoniums.
Gundemoniums? Oh, thank you.
Like Pandemonium?
Okay, yeah, Gundemoniums. PS4 digital / cross-buy. Ooh, Robert, cross-buy.
Yep.
Gundemoniums is revamped. Uh-oh. Hold on. Thought I had to sneeze. What the F? Anyways, all right. Gundemoniums is a revamped version of the cult Japanese PC classic Gundemonium, first released in 2003. This side-scrolling high-speed Danmaku
Yeah.
shoot 'em up has a focus on navigating the mazes created by the curtain fire.
Very nice. That was very good. I'm pretty sure it's Danmaku.
Cool.
I'm learning my Japanese. Anyway, not really. All right. It just means like bullet hell shooter, I believe.
Sure.
Marvel's Spider-Man Turf Wars. I cannot wait to play this because I didn't play Black Cat yet. PS4 digital. Spider-Man must put an end to the turf war erupting between the Magia crime family and gang leader Hammerhead before Marvel's New York becomes its greatest casualty.
Yeah, I remember you sending me a thing like, oh, these suits look amazing.
Yeah, the suits for this DLC look even better than the last one.
All right, Mech-O Wars, Desert Ashes, PS4, PS Vita, digital cross-buy. A classic reborn, casual turn-based strategy in a land of fantastical creatures and deadly machines. In the aftermath of a great flood, a vengeful leader threatens to conquer the world with the aid of a once-lost technology, and only a small but determined army stands in their path.
Nice.
I do like the cover art for that.
Yeah, it looks like a decent game. Slayaway Camp, Butcher's Cut, PS Vita digital. A killer puzzle game where you control Skullface, an adorably demented murderer, across hundreds of isometric puzzle levels in a darkly comic homage to the 80s horror movies.
Nice. Squishies! PSVR digital. Get lost in a cheerful world full of adventures. Squishies is a single-player puzzle platform experience built exclusively for PlayStation VR. Solve puzzles and save squishies or be creative and build your own levels, then share them with the community.
Goodness, that was a lot.
Squishies!
All right. Storm Boy.
Ooh.
PS4 digital out 11/21? What? That was last week. All right, anyway. Based on Colin Thiel's 1964 children's book of the same name, Storm Boy takes place on the beaches of South Australia, near the mouth of the Murray River, where the titular protagonist rescues orphaned pelican chicks, one of whom later becomes the child's pet, faithful companion, Mr. Percival. Oh, yes, this next one.
Ooh, what? All right, I'm buying a VR.
I love how this is what sold you.
Oh, 100%. I love Titanic. Anyway, okay. Titanic VR. PSVR digital out 11/22. By the way, I did just check. You gave us the see you soon for last week. That's why.
What? I searched the blog. Are you serious? Is there a new one?
Maybe they didn't update one, but
I was going to say, I did not see a PS blog drop for this upcoming week. I've
it says the
looked.
20th of November. So
I know. Well, we'll blame it on Clements.
Anyways, Titanic VR. Oh, man, this is awesome. Titanic VR is a diving simulator and immersive interactive story. You will leave with a greater understanding of the historic tragedy that unfolded in 1912, leading to the sinking of the world's most famous ship. Oh, 100% buying VR for that game.
That's hilarious. I love that that's what sold you.
Dude, I love Titanic.
Hey.
I even had a point-and-click game for, like, Mac, or, like, my friend had it for, like, Mac or PC or something like that. That was that you were on the Titanic like the night it was like sinking and you had like solve a murder. It was awesome.
So yeah, some of the simulators for VR are really good, and so that might actually. I mean, I'm laughing at it, but it might actually be legit pretty good. This next one though, no doubt, YouTuber's Life, PS4 digital. Become the most successful YouTuber on the planet. create videos, get subscribers, attend events, interact with your fans, and grow your channel. Live a true YouTuber's life. Deal with rough comments, people who don't care about your channel, weird algorithms. Oh, wait, that's not part of the description. Yeah. All right. Are you still there or did I lose you?
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. And by the way, I was correct. Justin Massengill, I apologize if I butchered that, did not put a new drop up yet. So I apologize.
Yeah.
Everyone, I apologize. These are from last week, but the games for this upcoming week are not out yet. At least the list. And so by the time this podcast goes out, you're going to be like, well, those games are almost, those games are old. And I'm going to be like, you know what? Sorry. Too bad.
We'll have to do it on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll do it on Saturday. We'll update it for you. Just for you. We're going to leave this in, and we're going to do another one.
Because that's how awesome we are.
That's how awesome we are, indeedly do. All right. That's going to wrap it up. We'll our Metacritic Quip game will return, I promise. We've run a little long in the tooth today, and my laptop battery is dying. And so, because I'm a terrible planner.
He forgot his charger, folks.
I did. I had a meeting, and gosh, I failed. And honestly, too, there's so many, I've been so busy doing, there were so many news stories this week and reader response that I kind of knew we were going to be long in the tooth. And I think 1 hour and 10 minutes is good for most people. 5 minutes is good for most people.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you all sticking with us. But if you want it to be longer, if you like hour and a half episodes, let me know and we'll just talk forever. But we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate you writing in. And remember, you can do that over at my Twitter, weare1ur2. You can find us at weare1ur2games.com. You can find us over at email me at weare1ur2@gmail.com. You see a theme here. You search weare1ur2. You're probably going to find me somewhere. Like, share, subscribe to the show. We appreciate it. We thank you all for hanging out with us. And until next time, game on.
Game on. This is the religious experience outro music. Praise be God.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, you said it was a religious experience, so I figured that would be the treat.
Go buy Beat Saber. All right. Goodbye.